Hello fellow Cravers, heading into March we have had some great games released already, but it is just the start as we have everything from track days to chokeslams to some twisted fancy stuff as I, GD, your favourite shapeshifting anomaly, brings you 5 games to look out for this March.
There is a world beyond the borderlands. A world forged by wonder and ruled by fate. There's one alone who can wield fate. One alone whose story is in their own hands. The Fate Maker. That's you. Heavy, right?
You seek passage. I can aid you.
I am Valentine, gallant adventurer. The scary stabby one is Fret.
The undead fall beneath our blades! Ah!
I'm sensing some real evil vibes this way. Now follow me.
A beautiful body indeed. And full of power!
I'm invincible!
Looking bad. How do we win this?
We attack! Together! For the Queen!
First we head to the world of fantasy. Well, fantasy world, created by a psycho little girl with a fondness of explosions as Borderlands' Tiny Tina takes the role of Dungeon Master again in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Just like the Assault on Dragon Keep expansion, the campaign has you and 3 others follow through Tina's adventure with her changing the game's world on the fly. Unlike the expansion though, you get to create your own playable character, with up to 6 different character classes that you can mix and match, plus a large arsenal of weapons and firearms, magic spells, and more unknown things cooked up in that head of Tina's. Expect an adventure like no other when Tiny Tina's Wonderlands hits both current and last gen PlayStation and Xbox, plus PC on March 25th. From fantasy to a forgotten land, jumping into the newest adventure of everyone's favourite pink ball, Kirby. Kirby and the Forgotten Land has Kirby washed up on the beaches of a new post-apocalyptic world where he finds creatures, mainly Waddle Dees, are being kidnapped by an evil force known as the Beast Pack. Just like most Kirby games, you run around rescuing these creatures by jumping and sliding, as well as inhaling enemies and objects to which you can either be spit out like a projectile or swallowed to copy its abilities. But apart from the game being fully 3D and new abilities in the form of Drill and Ranger, we find out that when Kirby tries to swallow more than it can in mouthful mode, an ability that lets you control larger objects such as cars and vending machines. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands heads to the Nintendo Switch on March 25th. Moving from the bright world of Kirby to something a little darker, as we head to Tokyo where it seems nearly all of its citizens have vanished mysteriously, leaving behind otherworldly spirits known as visitors. Well, you will be taking control of Akito, who is possessed by a spirit of a detective called KK, who, while having his own agenda, grants him supernatural powers. As you make your way through the visitors, you run into a group wearing Hanya masks who may unveil the mystery behind everything that is going on. Ghostwire Tokyo releases on the PlayStation 5 and PC on March the 25th.
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. The way that things have been.
Next, we get set to play of the SmackDown, as the main WWE series returns after nearly 2 years hiatus, thanks to the disaster that was 2K20. The game itself will feature a rebuilt game engine and smoother controls, but the biggest news is the return of My GM, where you choose between 5 on-screen general managers or create your own GM as you take control of one of WWE's brands, either Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or NXT UK, where you book wrestling shows, draft superstars, manage contracts, and control costs while trying to create the premier WWE brand. This is the first time this mode has been added to a WWE game since 2007's Raw vs SmackDown 2008. But not only that, other modes include My Rise, formerly My Career, the 2K Showcase featuring the career of one of the greatest high flyers in history, Rey Mysterio, My Faction, where you build a wrestling stable, Universe Mode, and of course the Creation Suite, which will now be cross-platform. WWE 2K22 releases on current and last-gen consoles and PC on March the 11th. Finally, we are back behind the driver's seat as we jump into one of the most realistic driving simulator series on the market, with it releasing its 8th mainline installment in the Gran Turismo series. Gran Turismo 7 brings the return of the GT simulation mode, encompassing a long-established and definitive single-player campaign feature. Other classic features noticeable include traditional racing tracks and vehicles, special events, championships, driving school, tuning parts shop, used car dealership, and GT Auto, while also including the new GT Sport mode, Grand Central, and Discover that were introduced in Gran Turismo Sport. As for those playing on PS5, the game will take advantage of the console's increased processing power, dedicated ray tracing hardware, and the advanced haptic feedback of the DualSense controller. Gran Turismo 7 releases on both the PS4 and 5 on March the 4th. Look, we know that there are even more games coming out this month, and even some we don't even know about yet. But is there anything you think we should have included in this list? Please let us know in the comments below, and while you're there, why not please hit that like and subscribe, and of course the notification bell to keep up to date when we go live and when other videos do come out. And of course, I have been GD, your favourite shape-shifting anomaly, and until next time, to be continued.